What will my handbag collection look like, and what will my life look like in 10 years? Will it be very much the same? Will it be completely different? Will all my handbags be gone? Stay tuned to find out. Hi YouTube, Autumn Beckman here. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My channel is all about luxury living on a budget, from high-end luxury handbags and small goods to the everyday luxuries of life. If that sounds interesting to you, please make sure you subscribe. Click the bell notification icon to be notified when I post new videos, and be sure to like the videos that you enjoy. And one of the perks of subscribing to my channel is you get to see my community post on your YouTube homepage, where I post deals, discount codes, sales, and rare finds related to these beautiful things we love. I was tagged to do this video about my handbag collection in 10 years. What will it look like? How will it be the same? How will it have changed? I was tagged by Winnie B LV. The person who started this tag video was Cat L. I will have both of their videos linked below, and you are tagged as well if you would like to do this, whether you make a video or you leave your responses in the comment section below. I'm going to switch it up a little bit because I've received some questions in my Q&A that relate to this topic, and a few other things have come to my mind related to this topic. So the handbag portion is going to be maybe a smaller portion-ish, or at least the focus on my collection would be smaller, and I'm going to talk about how life may change in the next 10 years. First of all, one huge life change that may happen, we're hoping will happen, is that Paul and I went this summer to Oregon, and he'd been before, but I never had, and I just fell in love with it, particularly the coast. I was very, very sad to leave, and it wasn't like the kind of thing where you go on vacation and you're like, oh, I wish I lived here, this is so great, or oh, I'm sad to go back home, back to work, or whatever. No, this was like, I have a deep connection to this place. I need to be here. This is where I need to spend my life. And I don't, I had a life back home. I've forgotten all about that because this is where I want to be now. That's how I was feeling. That's how strongly I felt. So we're talking seriously about moving to Oregon. I don't know when that would happen. I don't think it would happen that quickly. I think it would be more like a 5 or 10 year plan, because there are a lot of things that I want to put into place first. I've talked, and I've mentioned this again in my Q&A video, about buying a house. And anytime somebody's asked me about that on this channel or in real life or whatever, it doesn't make sense for me to do that. I haven't been interested in the slightest, because I live in Houston, and I've always thought about buying a house in Houston, if that's where we're talking about buying a house. Buying a house in Oregon might make more sense. I've been looking into that a little bit. So one of the things that I would want to have in place before we go is something like a down payment. I also may want to get a new car before we go. You see what I mean? Some big life things need to happen, and other things too, not related to finances, before then. If we do make that move at some point, that could affect my handbag collection. It rains a lot there, so maybe I don't want so much vachetta in my collection. Or maybe I do and I'm just careful with it, like I am now. I check the weather before I take vachetta out. My Mental Montante, the PM size, which I purchased a few months ago and recently revealed to you guys. Very recently there was a dog show in Houston. We took the dogs. We used to go to it because I worked with the Dachshund Rescue there, and they haven't had it for a few years because of COVID. So it was back, and we went, we took the dogs so they could have an outing. And when we were leaving, walking to the car, it was raining on us, and Paul's car wouldn't start because I don't know what happened. He left the lights on or something. His battery was dead. So he had to figure out how to get into the car and get into the back to get to his battery pack thing to charge the battery. So we were standing outside in the rain. My Mental Montante with all the vachetta on it got wet everywhere. I don't mind, stuff like that happens. You just wipe it down, it's not a big deal. To me, I know it's a big deal to a lot of people, but weather is something to consider. And weather would be a huge factor in the move, because Houston is, in my opinion, not livable anymore. The heat and humidity here, I just don't go outside. That's one of the things that I was finding in Oregon. We were outside a lot. We were doing a lot of hikes and things. And I'm like, oh, I enjoy being outside when the weather's nice. I forgot. I forgot that I enjoy that, because I just stay in the apartment all cooped up in the air conditioning, because it's too unbearable to be outside. So yeah, it would be nice to live somewhere where I could go outside again. on a regular basis and take the dogs and they can have little adventures, you know? And that would be another thing, is bags that won't get ruined so easily. I have a few bags that are no name, that are just bags you want to take out when you don't want anybody to know that you have nice bags and that you don't have to worry in the slightest about them being damaged in some way. So I know I have my Thacker crossbody bum bag thing that I use when I walk the dogs. I've tried a few different things and I found that to be the most comfortable piece and the most practical to be hands-free with the leashes. Longchamp bags, which are really great for being in all kinds of weather. That's what I carried when I was up there. So if I did a move like that, I may end up with more practical bags. Depending on what job I might have up there, maybe I'd stay in teaching, but maybe I'd do a career change. Maybe I'd end up working a remote job from home. In that case, I'm not carrying bags as much. And unless I'm in Portland, the dream would be to live on the coast, not in the big city. If I'm in Portland, I'd have luxury stores around. If I'm on the coast, I wouldn't. Would I even start to lose interest in luxury bags if I'm not in a big city where I'm taking my bags out all the time? It's interesting to note. What are your experiences living in different places? Living in a big city versus a small town. I know there's going to be variety. Some people live in small towns, don't care at all about bags, but just about everybody watching cares about bags because that's what the channel's about, right? Have you guys made a move and it has changed how you felt about handbags? I've seen two big changes to my handbag collection this year. One of those is, and I've mentioned this before, in the spring, I purchased a lot. And you guys haven't seen everything yet. It's gonna take me the rest of the year to reveal it all to you because that's how much I bought. But I began my handbag collection, my luxury handbag collection, 5 or 6 years ago with classic bags. This year especially, I have begun adding more color and texture. I was about to say pattern, but I don't know that I have patterns so much other than like monogram and damier patterns. But color and texture definitely. And I've done that both in luxury pieces and contemporary pieces. And as I've been using the collection or not using it, I'm finding what I'm drawn to and what I'm not. And I'm also finding that there are some things that I'm very drawn to that I don't end up wearing. I've mentioned that I plan to do a vlog sale over the summer. That's not happening. I haven't been home most of the summer. We've been traveling, so that's going to be later this year at some point. But what you'll find when you finally see that vlog sale is I'm letting go of a ton of stuff. I'm being pretty brutal about it. I'm still keeping, a lot because I have a lot. So even if I get rid of a lot, I still have a lot, but brutal. You'll be surprised at some of the things I'll have up for sale. And that's partly just to whittle things down, create more space in my environment, less clutter. But it's also that I'm learning more about myself and what I use and what I don't. And even if I love something, it doesn't mean that I'm going to use it, so there's no point in it just sitting on the shelf. I'm also finding that my wish list is pretty much non-existent at the moment. Partly because I purchased so much in the spring, I'm still good with that. I don't feel the need to buy more right now. And I checked off quite a few items that had been on my wish list for a while, but also because I have these other interests. I'm thinking about putting my extra money in other places. So we'll see where that goes. One bag I have been thinking about again is the Givenchy Antigona, and I don't know if that's a passing thing because I was really into that bag a few years ago, really wanted it, and then it kind of faded away from me. And now it's kind of back, so I wonder if it might fade again quickly. I don't know. We're gonna see. And I don't even know what color or size or whatever, what leather that I would want. Also, just thinking about trends in handbags very broadly, I've noticed something lately. Let me know what you think about this. Some of the bags that we used to see everywhere, I feel like we don't see them at all anymore. For example, the Louis Vuitton Artsy, the Louis Vuitton Favorite, even the Louis Vuitton Speedy. I just don't see them anymore. Like when I went out, I live in a place where people have nice handbags and you see them at the grocery store and restaurants and stuff. And I used to see those bags all the time and I never see them anymore. Why is that? I know they're discontinued bags, but people still bought them and have them in their collections. Do people only wear the bags for a little bit? They don't keep them long term like I do? Like, I think of the expensive bags, most of them, as bags that I would have for a very long time, decades. I know some people don't think that way, but I feel like in general, people do. I feel like most people who have a Louis Vuitton, especially if it's a really popular bag like one of those, that they buy it and that's their one Louis Vuitton bag and they carry it all the time for years, like forever until it dies. And I'm just not seeing those bags anymore. I'm curious what you think the reason for that is. And one last note, speaking of Oregon, I did vlog some of that trip. I also went to Colorado and vlogged that. I went to Florida earlier this summer to visit Jill. I did not vlog that one. I've already admitted that to you shamefully. And I went to Wimberley and New Braunfels. Those are both in Texas. Took the dogs with us on that trip. That was a lot of fun, and I did vlog that trip as well. So you have 3 travel vlogs coming up, but it will probably take a while to get them up because the Oregon trip, for example, I have 255 clips of video to go through. That's just for the one video, and then I don't even know yet what I have for the others. So look forward to that, but it may be a little while before I can get all that done with everything else that I do too. That brings us to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I know I didn't really stick to the tag here, but I hope that was still interesting. Please let me know what you thought of anything I asked you or whatever else. Hope to see you back here next time, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye.